You're listening to Daily Manna Devotionals. Thanks for stopping by. The title of today's devotion is Uncertain Times, God, a Rock, and a Hard Place. Scripture. Miriam answered them, "Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea." Exodus 15:21. By a series of amazing miracles, Moses reintroduced the Hebrew slaves in Egypt to the God of their fathers. By the time Pharaoh let the people go, the slaves had become believers. But like so many baby believers, the first crisis made them rethink their new faith. They were stuck between the rock of the Red Sea and the hard place of the hordes of Egyptian chariots bearing down on them. But God proved himself faithful to Moses and the Hebrews, and he parted the sea, and the rest is biblical history. When you get between a rock and a hard place, what do? Does your faith vanish faster than an Egyptian chariot? We have to admit that what God did once, rescue his people dramatically, he's not obligated to do again in the same way. But the promise Moses made to the Hebrews is repeated throughout Scripture. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. In other words, don't panic and run. The question is not if God will prove himself faithful to you, but how. The question is not if God will prove himself faithful to you, but how. If you panic and run, you might miss the miracle. You can never understand the faithfulness of God by taking the short view. Paul Reese. This devotion comes out of Turning Point with God, a devotional by David Jeremiah. So, in that to me speaks. I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. bear with me. I had a thought and I lost it. Old age. My thoughts are escaping me. Let me think here. I know what it was. When you get between a rock and a hard place, what do? Does your faith vanish faster than an Egyptian chariot? And that, for me, I actually turn to God more when I'm between a rock and a hard place. I don't know if you guys are the same way. Tell me in the comments. Do you find yourself turning to God more in happy times or in the difficult times? For me, anyway, I thank him every day for all my blessings and all of that, but I find myself turning to him more and spending more time in prayer and leaning on him a lot more in my difficult times when I'm between a rock and a hard place. That's just me. I feel like that is probably most people, but maybe not. Maybe people turn to him more in the good times, and in the bad ones they shake their fist at him or blame him or something. I'm not sure. Not that we haven't all been there at times as well, but in our weak moments. But to me, I turn to him a lot more in the difficult times. I spend more time with him in the difficult times. Anyway, that's my thought on that. And also, I was talking to a friend who shall remain nameless today, who I used to work with, who's been pretty down, and he's always struggled with depression. And I remember back when I worked with him, he would struggle with depression, and he's definitely depressed. His girlfriend broke up with him unexpectedly, and he's in a difficult time right now. So anyway, I hadn't talked to him in a while. Happened to reach out today, and we were conversing about things, and he was telling me that he's pretty down about it. But one thing that he said, because he was talking about, and he's been, dare I say it, at the end of what he can put up with, to where he almost wants to give up at times. And that's a nice way of putting it. But today, while he was down and in this difficult place, very difficult emotionally and mentally, he said, I don't want to give up yet though, because I might miss the miracle. And it just kind of caught me off guard, because he's not really somebody that would say that. He's kind of down a lot, and I don't know. I'd never really heard anybody say that. I'm not going to give up just yet, because I don't want to miss the miracle or something like that. I don't want to give up just before the miracle. And I thought that was really good. And I, reassured him and kind of talked to him a little bit about, that's right, and that there's something coming around the corner, that got something better for you, a better girlfriend planned for you, or something ahead, that just beyond where life seems very difficult, there is a miracle right ahead, or a new situation, or something that is going to turn things around, where you'll forget about these difficult times, and you'll be looking at how amazing your life is. So anyway, we were talking about that, and I just thought it was kind of funny that today, on the same day, the first time I'd really ever heard the phrase that he said, and I forget the exact wording, but it was something along those lines. So I kind of think it's interesting that I'd never heard it. I just read it a little bit ago, and then do this devotion. It says, you might miss the miracle. It's exactly the same phrase at the end as what he said. So kind of cool. More assurances and just little things that I feel like God tells me, hey, you're doing what I want you to do. I like feeling like I'm on his path, and I think it's those little coincidences and things that are like God kind of patting me on the back and saying, you're where I want you. Good job, Tim. Keep doing this. So anyway, that's my thoughts. A little longer than usual. a little longer-winded, but anyway. Have a great day. God bless.